Morning, third graders. So good to see you again. Okay, today we're going to continue to talk about adjectives. But today the adjectives that we're going to talk about have a special name, and the special name that they have are articles. And if we look up at the top, we have three articles that we are looking at. We have a, we have an, and we have the. And like I just told you, it tells us that those are special adjectives. Okay, it talks about using an at the second bullet. We use the article an when we have a word that begins with a vowel. So that would begin with A, E, I, O, or U. And the other thing that we notice up here is that it is a singular noun, so that it means it has to be one. So we have to look at two things. We have to look at our noun. Is it a singular noun? Just one, and does it begin with a vowel? Because if that's the case, then we're going to use the adjective or the article an. Okay, we use a. They don't give us a bullet for a. We also use the article a with singular nouns. But this time we use them with singular nouns that begin with consonant letters. So every other letter, so it's going to be B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. Those are going to be the ones that you would use the article a. So again, it would be a singular noun beginning with a consonant. But then we get down to the article the, and that's probably the easiest one that you're going to use because the article the can be used with vowels and it can be used with consonants. The article the can be used with singular nouns and it can be used with plural nouns. So again, that one's a little bit easier. You can use it anytime. You're pretty safe to use that. Okay, and then remember we talked last week that some adjectives are limiting and they give us those in italicized print. We see this, that, these, and those. So they want you to look carefully at your sentences today and they want you to decide, should you use a, should you use an, or should you use the to finish those sentences. So we're going to look at a couple of together. So our first one said, I went to see blank first game of the World Series. Okay, so we have to look at what's coming behind our blank, and we have the word first. And when we look at the word first, we see that it begins with a consonant. So that gives us two choices. We can either use the article a, because we use a when our word begins with a consonant, or we can use the word the when our word begins with a consonant. So we need to put both of those in the blank and we need to see which one makes sense. I went to see a first game of the World Series, or I went to see the first game of the World Series. And we know that the word the probably makes more sense. We're going to go ahead and I'll type in the word the. For some reason, it doesn't want to. Well, there it is. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. So we have the for our first one. Let's skip down to number 2. I wrote blank essay about my exciting day. So we have to look at the word that we see following our blank, and we have the word essay, and it begins with an E. So again, we have two choices. We can use, again, we see an E, so we're going to go up to our bullet, and we can use an with any word that begins with a vowel and a singular noun. We can use the with vowels and consonants and with singular or plurals. Okay, but I don't want you using the all the time today. So let's look at number 2. I wrote blank essay about my exciting day. This begins with a vowel. So which of our bullets do you think that we should use? I hope that you're picking an. I wrote an essay about my exciting day. There we go. So I went to see the first game of the World Series. I wrote an essay about my exciting day. Okay, let's look at one more. Let's go down to number 10. On our way home, I smiled as I thought about blank best day ever. Okay, here's our blank. We look at the word that we have behind that blank and we see that it begins with a consonant. So we know that our choices again are going to be A, because we can use A with words that begin with consonants, or we can use the. So we have to decide which one's going to make sense. On our way home, I smiled as I thought about a best day ever. On our way home, I smiled as I thought about the best day ever. Think. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. I hope you told me the. I smiled as I thought about the best day ever. Okay, so read those sentences carefully and put the correct word in. Write those neatly. Go ahead and type those in if you need to. And just click done when you are finished.